Hello everyone, my name is Cecil and I'm combining two of my favorite things, which is crafting and listening to Reddit stories because a girl loves chisme. So today I'm just making a little letter for my Penpal Hannah and I'm using a combination of two colors that I wasn't sure was gonna work, but now I love it. So that's good. Anyways, I think let's just get started. Okay, so this first story comes from Am I the Asshole 15 hours ago. Am I the asshole for returning my girlfriend's birthday gift? And it says, let me start off by saying I'm not a very affectionate or lovey dovey person. My girlfriend's birthday was on Wednesday, and we went out for dinner after work, and I gave her her gift beforehand. I just handed it to her and said happy birthday. Nothing to elaborate. Dinner was fun, but on the way back, my girlfriend was telling me about how she thought I wasn't being enthusiastic enough and how it wouldn't kill me not to be so unconcerned. We've talked about this for the umpteenth time, but I got her a gift, a camera that cost like $1,500. Okay. Took her to dinner and got her a card, so I told her I didn't know what else she wanted from me. She got defensive by me saying that, and I told her that if she thought I wasn't doing good enough, I could take the gift back. She got mad at me and left the gift, so the next day I returned it. When she texted me, she said she wasn't just mad, that she was just mad, and called me an asshole in the messages when I told her that I returned it. She left it in the car, so I could assume she didn't want it. Am I the asshole? She hasn't texted me since. Also, we're both 21. And edit. Kind of weird people are saying I don't like her because I won't jump up and down because of somebody's birthday. That's just not the type of person I am. That's just doing too much. Yeah, you are the asshole. So, top comment says, she literally told you multiple times you are the asshole. Doesn't matter if the camera was $5,000 if she doesn't feel heard or appreciated slash understood. She feels like you're just buying her affection. Your response to you not doing what she's asked a million times was to return the gift. I hope she finds a better boyfriend. What is this? I mean, I is this punishing her? Like, also, why do we have to know that it's a super expensive camera? If you didn't want to get her the $1,500 camera because you're 21 and you probably couldn't afford it, then don't buy her a $1,500 camera. Silly. I mean, you're both 21. I Is it worth it? It's not worth it. She wants affection. You're not an affectionate person. Just part ways. It's my answer. Sorry about that. Anyways, let's jump to this other one. And it comes from Am I the Angel? And it's from a month ago. And it says, Am I the angel for not telling my sister that my baby's name was always just a joke? And this is a shit post. It says, My wife has recently given birth to my first child, but it is her fourth. With her first pregnancy, her family were very critical of the baby names she liked, so she started giving her children ridiculous fake names, defending them fiercely, and then, to everyone's relief, changing her mind at the last minute and naming them something normal. I thought this was hilarious, and thus we named our baby girl Thermodecline. Thermodecline. The joke felt kind of flat though. My parents were too polite to say anything, and my wife's family had already caught on and took no notice. We kept using the name as an inside joke regardless because it had grown on us. Not long after we revealed the baby's sex and name, my sister revealed that she was MTF and would be transitioning soon. Fast forward to now. My wife is out of the hospital, and we brought Susan home, and my family came to visit that week. My parents were visibly relieved and gushed over the new baby and her new name. My sister, on the other hand, pulled me aside and asked why we changed it. I explained the whole joke, and that it was never a sincere choice, and she got very agitated. Apparently, she had adopted the name Susan for herself. She said that she had started using that name with friends and in her daily life outside the family. And now everybody will think that she stole the name, like all those 100% real stories about trans people stealing names on Am I the Asshole. And now she will have to choose another name. I said I couldn't have her change her name because our friends would think I'm one of those transphobic assholes who named the baby Susan to prevent my sister from getting the name after transitioning. My wife overheard us and now thinks the best solution is to name both the baby and my sister Thermal Decline, just to be sure. The baby then started crying, saying that all the cool kids in the nursery had their names stolen by a relative and that she was going to get bullied at school for not having a name good enough to get stolen, and has gone and see with us. Our parents decided to stay out of it by calling my daughter the baby, my sister the auntie, and me the asshole. So he's asking, am I the asshole? Yeah, not the asshole. Top comment says, your baby and sister both have valid points. I suggest they split the names. So, Sue Decline and Thermosan. And then there's another one that says, I love the name Thermal Decline. It's a keeper for both, not the asshole. This is kind of cute, and now you know what? Thermal Decline is actually growing on me. So, Papa Girl, name your baby Thermal Decline. Low Thermy. That would be cute. Okay, so this next one comes from am I the asshole? 6 hours ago, am I the asshole for wanting to divorce my wife who was not motivated to manage her PCOS? I choose this one because I knew I was gonna get mad. I have PCOS myself, and yeah, I want to hear what this guy has to say. I really do. Okay, so it says, I, 35 male, am in the process of divorcing my wife, 35 female, and I'm getting a lot of pressure from people around me to reconsider. So I wanted an outside perspective. We have been married 10 years. For context, we've had a difficult marriage for a while. One of the major issues has been her PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. It causes hormonal imbalances, excess testosterone, and it's a leading cause of infertility, which has affected things like her health, appearance, and fertility. I want to be clear that I don't blame her for having PCOS, but what has been difficult for me is that I felt there was a lack of effort over several years to manage it through diet, exercise, or treatment. One of the visible effects has been significant hair loss. She is bald on top and refused treatment for years on her scalp, alongside increased facial hair growth, including a noticeable beard. I know this is a very sensitive issue, but it did affect my attraction. I tried over the years to gently raise solutions like treatment options, for example, minoxidil for hair loss, but those conversations often ended in arguments. She would be really aggressive and make comments about my body, or I'd be shut down. It became something I felt I couldn't talk about at all. Over time, this built off a lot of frustration and distance between us. I started to feel like I was walking on eggshells around important topics while also dealing with my own feelings that I couldn't ignore. I found myself increasingly unhappy and, if I'm honest, not attracted to her. That made intimacy feel forced, which affected my mental state a lot. On top of that, we've struggled with fertility. We tried treatments, and while sometimes there were signs of progress, like egg development, ovulation felt inconsistent and unpredictable. She was resistant to a lot of the drugs, which were given in very high doses. It often felt like a cycle of hope followed by disappointment. Seeing others our age starting families while we kept facing obstacles added another layer of pressure and sadness. De pendejo. After years of this, I reached a point where I felt emotionally checked out. It's not just one issue, but a combination of feeling unheard, losing attraction, and the ongoing stress around fertility and the future. Her family are framing me as the bad guy and acting like this is a minor falling out and want us to try again. The problem is, I don't feel like I want to. I feel mentally done. It feels unfair for both of us to stay when my feelings have changed this much. I'm with you. I'm with you, man. I'm with you, boy. Please, leave this lady. She can do so much better. Anyways, at the same time, I'm questioning myself. Am I being too harsh or impatient? Should I give it another chance? Or is it valid to walk away after feeling unhappy for so long? Why? Okay, he's asking, am I the asshole for wanting to go through with the divorce instead of trying again? You're not the asshole for wanting to divorce. You are unhappy. The thing you're not putting in here is that you're both unhappy. Okay? I'm gonna laugh because I'm getting really annoyed at this. So PCOS is the title of this thing. For wanting to divorce my wife who was not motivated to manage her PCOS. So you know about PCOS. Hormonal imbalances. You know that having PCOS makes you unmotivated. You're tired all the damn time. It's not too hard to see that your wife is having a mental breakdown. I mean, like, how do you think she feels knowing that you have lost attraction for her, that you don't want to be in this marriage anymore? And you're saying that you're not, what is it that you said? That you don't blame her for having PCOS. But it does kind of feel like you're pulling away because of the result that has gone. Like, those things that PCOS have done to her. Anyways, like, I'm going to read the top comment. And it says, well, I'd be interested to hear her perspective. If you're unhappy, you're unhappy. Regardless of the reasons, if the pair of you can't come together to work things out, best not to drag it on. That way you both will have a chance to be happy again. Somebody also said, whether or not you divorce her, please don't add children to this mix of unhappiness. Yeah, 100%. Please don't add children to this whole thing. Also, yeah, stop listening to people. I mean, oh, her family wants us to get back together. Okay, you're an adult. Figure it out. Let's go to another one. This is also from Am I the Asshole? And it's from 13 hours ago. And it says, Am I the asshole for wanting to continue taking my nightly showers? Seems, I mean, yeah. Who doesn't like a nightly shower? It says, so me, 29, and my boyfriend, 28. Oh my God, it's always the boyfriend, okay? It's always the boyfriend. Anyways, have a 6-month-old baby who is exclusively breastfed. Every night she wants to be nursed to sleep, which is fine, but I also like to take a shower every night before getting into bed. So sometimes after I get her to sleep, I'll do some things before my shower, like do dishes, clean up a little, or whatever. But lately, she's been waking up after about 45 and crying and won't settle unless I get back in bed with her. We co-sleep and put her on the boob. So tonight, I fed her and went to get right into the shower rather than do my usual cleaning because I knew I had about 45 minutes, but his dog started barking at something and woke her up. I had to get out of the shower halfway to settle her. So now he's telling me that I need to start showering during the day and I can't shower at night because she always wakes up, but like no one's here to help me during the day. So I just feel like at night it makes the most sense. I also feel like he needs to learn how to settle her because it's not fair that all of the responsibility is on me and I can't even take a freaking shower before bed. Anyways, am I being unreasonable? I love it when women ask if they're being unreasonable. And it's like the silliest thing. It's kind of like, I'm hungry. Can I have a sandwich? Is that unreasonable? Like, what? Anyways, she says, like, I want to continue to shower at night before going to bed, but I don't know if maybe I'm not being fair to him and our baby. So, the top comment says, you need to shower when I'm not here so I don't feel obligated to care for a child. Yup. Yup. Not the asshole. Anyways, yeah, I wish she would say that to her husband. See what the response is. The second top comment says, so you have a second parent in the house who is refusing to be an adult, hence help with the dishes, let alone be a parent to their child? Not the asshole. I think this one is pretty straightforward. Yeah, I don't. That is, a weird thing. So I want to talk maybe about this little thing that, I'm seeing in a comment, and it basically says, I didn't join the army until after college, so I was a little bit older than most of my fellow soldiers, and I have been living on my own for quite a while, fully capable of caring for myself like a functioning adult, the bare minimum. The amount of men I saw that came in and didn't have the smallest fucking clue of how to do anything for themselves was mind-boggling. These guys couldn't do laundry, pay bills, grocery shop, clean up after themselves, and so on. It made me realize that probably a good 90% of men go from one mommy to the next. They're wholly incapable of taking care of themselves in any way. I vowed to myself that if I ever had sons, they wouldn't be like that because I was raising eventual adults. And I kept that vow. And they're adding, oh, but I work and provide. and they say, motherfucker, shut up. You'd still be working if you were single, period. That's what useless men have told you to say so you can justify continuing to be useless. Like if you didn't have a girlfriend / wife, you'd not have a job or something. And that's the thing. Like usually when a partner is staying at home, and the other one provides or whatever, like they expect the one that is at home to do most of the cleaning and the dishes and the laundry. And if you have you have talked about it and you and your partner are okay with this, that is okay. But unfortunately, there's a baby in here. Like this mom probably doesn't even have time. Well, actually, probably not. She's saying it. She doesn't have time to go use the bathroom. 45 minutes in the day so she can lay down and take care of herself and shower. Like, why is it so difficult? Anyways, I want to see if she has answered to anything, and no, she hasn't. So, yeah, I believe this is a throwaway account. It's only 1 month old. I really hope that she has read the comments and that she has reached out to her partner. I was gonna say her parent, but it's more like her son. Anyways, if they talk about this and he tries to understand where she's coming from, I think, they can come to an agreement. So, this one is from 1 month ago. Am I the asshole? And it is saying, am I the asshole for being ungrateful to my grandma for fixing my dress? It's already been tagged, so there's a result, but I'm going to say it later. And it says, hi, I've never posted before, so please bear with me. I, 17 female, am going to my boyfriend's school formal next Saturday, and I'm really excited because in my last year of high school, I've been quite busy this year with schoolwork, and so I decided it would be easier to order my dress online. My mom, M-U-M, me mommy, helped me measure myself and we ordered it, and when it arrived, I tried it on and realized it would definitely need to be hemmed. My grandma, who always hems my clothes for me, offered to hem it for me, which I was really grateful for. We agreed she would remove 2 inches from the bottom and tighten the straps a bit so it would fit me better. 2 days later, she brought the dress back and explained she had done all that along with helping make the dress more modest for a young lady. Oh my God. When I looked at the dress, I noticed that a weird piece of fabric had been added around the cleavage area para las tetangas. It looks completely out of place and honestly ruined the dress. Yeah, I can imagine. My grandma made me try it on, and I had tears in my eyes. The dress looked terrible. I'm not trying to be dramatic, but the fabric is so out of place and it looks hideous. My grandma asked what's wrong, and I said I was obsessed because we didn't agree that she would add all of this fabric. We got into a pretty big argument, and now she won't talk to me because she says I'm being ungrateful. Okay. My mom won't get involved, and my grandma's husband, my mom's stepdad, keeps calling me, telling me to apologize to her. I feel bad that she worked hard on the dress, but I am so devastated at what has happened. Has anyone had a similar situation? Am I the asshole for being ungrateful? So I'm just going to say it right now. She has been deemed not the a-hole. And the top comment says, not the a-hole, depending on the material. See if you can unpick the stitching, holding the extra fabric in place. And somebody answered to that, absolutely this. Granny may have worked hard on the modesty panel, but it wasn't what they agreed on. Yeah, let me see who else has said something here. So, not the asshole, your grandma overstepped by altering a part of the dress without your consent. And I'm very disappointed with your mom's reaction. She approved this dress and should at the very least help you navigate the situation. It's not like you bought it by yourself. You were with your mom. Your mom deemed it. Also, I really don't. It's the fact that she just did that without even asking you. Did she make any comments? Did your grandma, when you were putting it on, say, hey, I don't think that's really appropriate for where you're going or what you're doing or your age? I unfortunately feel like it's a lot about the grandma's generation, and I don't know her age. But when I hear grandma, I'm thinking about maybe like in her 60s, 70s. And it's that generation where they cannot do anything wrong. And yeah. I really don't like that. Grandma was just way out of line. Anyways, let's keep going to another one. I keep saying anyways, but I just don't know what else to say, Okay, this one comes from Two Hot Takes, 19 hours ago, and it says, my husband said I ruined our wedding photos, and now I want to leave him. You know what? I'm not even going to read it, and I'm just going to say right away. Leave him. Girl, leave him. Who does he think he is? What? I ruined your wedding photos. Okay, let's listen to this. Am I overreacting? My 33, she's 33 female, husband 32 male, is on the spectrum and has other mental health concerns. Yeah, that doesn't mean he gets to be an asshole. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading, and I'm gonna try. He is often too blunt about things, but at times it comes off as cruelty. We have 2 children under 2, and I am currently at home on maternity leave with our second. His mental health has deteriorated since we had children. We always intended to have children, but he had no idea what it entailed and he has not been capable of caring for either of our children. I worked more than full-time through both pregnancies in order to get adequate maternity leave in my country. Oh, in my county or in my country? In my county, maybe, she said. Anyways, my husband works full-time and spends the rest of his time on his computer investing in hobbies, preparing for his job, and any side gigs he says are helping support us. My mat leave and savings pay for everything but rent and utilities for our children. My husband thinks he is generous for giving me $50 once or twice a month and often makes a show of it in front of others. I'm often reduced to that sad stereotypical mother who has to ask her husband to take a shower so he'll watch the kids. This is also the longest amount of time I would trust him with them, as he has done multiple dangerous things with our kids and then try to escape any blame without excuses. Recently, he left our newly crawling youngest sitting on a high couch next to a hard tile floor while I was busy with our oldest in another room. When I got upset with him about it, he laughed it off that he forgot she was there. There have been also been issues with his leaving harmful tools and medication accessible to the kids. He is also unable to plan. Oh, this is a long one, by the way. He is also unable to plan and pack for the kids for anything. I have written him list and tried to handhold him through this, but he has no patience and creates a chaotic environment when he's stressed. I end up doing everything for our kids with some help from grandparents and my close relatives. Most days he will be in the presence of our children for less than an hour, and usually those days end up being easier for me. When he is around, he judges what I do and nags me when our babies are hanging out in diapers after being changed instead of being fully dressed. The house is messy after a day at home, or the house stinks from me changing poops all day. I'm potty training our youngest, and he wants to punish our youngest for having accidents while I want to encourage rather than traumatize. After getting our children fully ready for a day out with my husband's family, including preparing for the family event with no input from husband as usual, I loaded the car with everything, including the children. My husband came and sat in the driver's side of the car, and that was it. We headed out, and he started talking at me about his plans for his future. I was just trying to appreciate the quiet car ride where the children are finally napping. I finally add something about what I see for my future. I used to be a fitness instructor, and I enjoyed it very much. Since having two children, I have not been able to take care of myself the way I would want to. I told my husband that I would like to get fit again and start teaching a fitness class maybe one evening a week. My husband said he would like me to come to the gym with him. He goes 3 times a week at least. I remind him that my taking care of the kids allows him to do things like go to the gym that often, so we can't really go together for the most part. I barely get out to the garage to do a half-hour workout when the babysitter is here or when the children are both sleeping in the middle of the night. My husband says I am doing good. He says that I look a lot better than I did after our first child, and mentions our wedding. We got pregnant by accident after we were engaged and rushed to get married when I was only 3 months postpartum, so we wouldn't lose a hefty venue deposit. As a result, I had to give up a lot of expectations about my wedding day. Oh my God. I had to get a new dress last minute, also because I didn't know bridal sizing was smaller, but despite that I managed to feel beautiful, albeit with the help of some professional makeup and hair artist. I even look back at those photos as some of the most beautiful photos I have of myself. I asked my husband what he means by mentioning our wedding because I felt beautiful despite having just had a baby. I felt like we made the most of it despite all the hardship. He says that I was way bigger then and that my weight actually wrecked those photos. I tell him to stop talking and that he shouldn't say that about anyone, especially not his wife who had recently had his baby. He continues to talk, saying that we really should have gotten the photos done earlier before I started showing because the photos were ruined. I have felt numb to him since then. I think I am done. Is this a shallow reason to stop trying? No. He has since tried to apologize, but I feel like this undermined our relationship. I remember him crying at our wedding when he saw me and being so happy. And that is the end. Oh, I feel so bad for her. I'm crying a little bit because this is just so sad. So the top comment says, your husband is an awful, shallow human being. This has nothing to do with autism. So somebody answered to that and said, yes, OP, please read this comment. He's using his diagnosis as a medical reason to treat you poorly. This is not a valid reason. If the days go much better without him, then take him out of the equation. Document how dangerous it is for the children to be around him. Make sure you have access to all of that, to all of your and your children's important documents, and place them somewhere you can grab them quickly if needed. Meet with lawyers to review your options to obtain full/primary custody. You don't have to stay in this relationship. Somebody else said, my husband and I are both on the spectrum, and neither of us would ever speak or act like this. I mean, we know the spectrum. That's why it's a spectrum. Nobody's the same. But again, this guy's just a dickhead. Okay, pendejo. Are we emotionally sensitive? Yes. Do we have a hard time communicating sometimes, especially big feeling stuff? Yes. But this is abusive, and it's cruel. I feel so sad for OP because somebody said, I'm divorcing him on your behalf. And yes, a lot of people, we, you know what? We ride at dawn. I feel like you might not be taking care of a third kid, but you're definitely taking care of maybe a third teenager. It's unfair, and I feel really sad for OP. It's the fact that you're thinking that these things are normal for you to be maybe insensitive about, oh, he giving you $50 and thinks he's generous. It's the fact that he's unable to pack things for the kids, but he can sit in his computer and check out his new hobbies. I don't feel like you're in a partnership right now. And I mean, can you imagine? There's another comment that says your life will improve 100-fold if you leave this person. Not only is he entirely incompetent and horrible in general, he's deeply dangerous to be around your children. This is so silly. Like, the fact that she has to write, this is a long story, guys. Long story. And she had to write all of this trying to convince herself that she needs to divorce this person. No other comments from OP, so I'm just gonna leave that there. That was whoa. So this last one is, am I overreacting? 2 hours ago, and says ex-therapist stalking me, and there's a photo of some messages, and it's from Friday, March 13th, 5:09 p.m. So this is actually a little bit longer than them just putting it here 2 hours ago. So it says, hi, this is Luke. I'm taking some time off work. I wanted to see if you would be okay with and comfortable meeting up, ... I can't stop thinking about you, ... I promise not to hurt you or bother you. Why is hurting on the table? What is going on? So OP is writing, my ex-therapist confessed her attraction for me and asked me out during a session. I ended that relationship immediately. The problem is that they're still obsessed with me and are stalking me. I got a new phone number and email because they continue to stalk me, but somehow they got my new information and started contacting me again. What can I do to get them to stop? Okay, so first top comment says, board complaint yesterday. And then somebody answered to that, LOL, they're taking some time off work. Translates, they have probably already lost their license. Police report now. I'm gonna be really honest with you. Yes, board complaint, but what's that gonna do? Yes, police report, but what's that gonna do? Like, unless it's different where you live, police report is basically just gonna be there for when they, and people are gonna be like, oh my gosh, she had this complaint about him and you guys didn't do anything. Yeah, I listen to true crime. It's basically the way it goes. That just sucks. That is psycho, and I hope you're staying really safe out there. Okay, I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you so much for watching this video. Stay safe, hydrate. Okay, bye.